Welcome to this week's Financial Tip Tuesday, where I'm going to break down the 4 different pillars of estate planning. This past week, I was able to meet with an attorney that specializes in estate planning, and I loved his example, the way that he broke it down. So he said there's basically 4 pillars of estate planning. You have 2 pillars for when you are alive and 2 pillars for when you're dead. So let's break those down. So let's start with the 2 pillars for when you are alive. What are they? So they are DPOA, which is Durable Power of Attorney. You want one for healthcare, DPOA for healthcare, and then you want a different one, DPOA for finances. The DPOA for healthcare lets somebody make medical decisions on your behalf in case you are disabled or in a coma or something else going on where you can't make your own decisions medically. And then the DPOA for finance is the same exact thing, except it is for financial decisions that need to be made on your behalf. And so every one of us should have those 2 documents in place because we never know when something might happen. The way that this attorney explained it, which I thought was really good, is at every point in your life, you are much more likely to get disabled than you are to die. And so having these in place while you're alive allows people to make decisions that you trust and that you decide to have them make decisions on your behalf. Now let's talk about the other 2 pillars. You have your will, and then you have a trust. So these 2 are the ones that go into place once you pass away, and the DPOAs, the finance and healthcare DPOAs, actually become invalid, and it switches over to the will and trust. A will and trust are in place to help get your assets where you want them to go once you end up passing away. And if you don't make the decision, have it clearly written out now, then you're either going to have family, friends, or the government decide where everything goes. And some people say, well, I don't care what happens. I'm not going to be around anymore. But put yourself in your family or friend's shoes. It's going to be much easier for them to deal with this and have it all laid out and structured versus having them try to scramble, know where everything is, make all these decisions while they are also still dealing with your death. So it's really more to still put into place that everything goes where you want, but also keeping your family in mind that it's going to help them in a time where they're probably going to be mourning. So those are the 4 pillars that everybody should have in place. The question that you can ask is, what percent of us are eventually going to die? And that's going to be 100%. So 100% of people should have these in place, but a lot of people don't. So here's your encouragement to work on getting those done. You might be able to use some free online services. Make sure they are state specific, but ultimately when you are digging into all the details of this, you really probably should have some type of an attorney that specializes and works with this so they know all the rules specific to the state that you live in. So this is my encouragement to you. Get it on your list if you don't have these in place and work on getting it done so that you don't have to worry about it. Once you do get these in place, at a minimum, it's probably beneficial to relook at them or update them every 5 years or sooner if you have a big life change, like you have your first kid or you buy something large like a new house, something large like that. You probably want to have a relook at it or just at least reach out, email, or call your attorney and double check to make sure that you don't need to adjust or change anything. So I hope that is helpful. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and have a great week.